unmute my mic there. Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? All right. Well, welcome to another episode of Sean Talks Cybersecurity. It's lovely to see I have a live audience here today. You might notice that the headphones are new, so if I'm having some audio issues today at all, please let me know in the comments. The comment section is going to be live. You can go ahead and let me know. So live chat over on X, on YouTube, and Rumble today. So today is Thursday. Today is Thursday, February 27th, 2025. And let's dig into the news, shall we? All right, so the first bit of news I have for you today is the big one. We have the defensive certification that gets you hired by TryHackMe was just unveiled. Big news. Everybody's talking about it. This new SAL1 or SAL1, Security Analyst Level 1 is what it stands for. And you'll find that this has gotten a really good reputation already. So good on TryHackMe for getting that reputation already on this cert. I think that it's going to be a big deal. I think it's going to be a game changer actually for blue teamers. So the SAL1, the biggest thing is that it's actually, like I said with the certified ethical hacker the other day in my past live streams, I said that the certified ethical hacker is like a quiz. And so a lot of these blue team certs, they're really just glorified quizzes. Now, don't get me wrong, like the CISSP and the SSCP, Security Plus, they all have a lot of good knowledge in there, but a lot of it is just how do I put this? It's just theory. It's not actually, you're not really putting it in the real world. So when you actually go to do this stuff in your job, all you know is all this book knowledge. You don't know actually what you're doing. You don't have that actual hands-on experience. And so TryHackMe said, like, okay, let's fix that. Let's actually get this thing so we can actually bring real people in who actually know what they're doing to these employers and have them actually trained to do an engineer position or a SOC analyst, right? Security Operations Center analyst. So it's a big deal. It does cost pretty close to $300, I think, USD. And so depending on where you're at in the world, it might be different. But I know here in the United States where I'm at, it costs pretty close to $300, which isn't too bad. Very, very competitive with other certifications in this industry. So I want to say TryHackMe, thanks for creating this. I think it's going to be a really big boon to our industry. The only thing I will caveat with that is that right now, if you're new in this industry and you're trying to get in, the only thing that would go against you with the certification, and this is just me being completely honest with you, which I try to be all the time, is that this certification is so new that a lot of employers aren't even going to know what it is. So if you put this on your resume, people aren't going to know. But that said, the more people that do it, the more people that actually get on and actually get this cert, the better it's going to be for everybody in the industry. So mad kudos to TryHackMe. Keep on doing this stuff. This is great. I'd love to see you guys come out with a red team one. I know Hack the Box has one that's really come a long way, and it's really made a name for itself at this point. So it'd be great. Okay, next bit of news. Let's go ahead and exit out of this right here, actually, before we move on. Okay, so next bit of news here. Bleeping Computer reports that there is a VS Code extension with 9 million installs pulled over security risks. This is big, really big news. It's actually a very popular VS Code extension. If you run VS Code on your machine at home or at work, please get in there and get rid of this thing. I would say, material theme free and material theme icons free is very popular. I know in the past I have used it myself, so if you have it on your machine, get rid of it. Get rid of it ASAP. I think it might have even been pulled by Microsoft, but just in case it has been installed, just get it off there. Okay, that's all I want to say about that one. Let's get into the dark reading stuff here. So Chinese APT, or Advanced Persistent Threat, APT is Advanced Persistent Threat, uses VPN bug to exploit worldwide OT orgs. So OT is operations operational technology. So this is like if you go to like a paper mill, or if you go to like a power plant or something, this is all that technology that's like old school, really not connected up to the internet, although they have ways of connecting it up to the internet now. And so, yeah, basically that is this APT VPN bug is potentially pretty bad for a lot of organizations. I would say this too. OT is a really big space right now in cybersecurity. If you want to get in and help secure some things, it's really good to try to learn some operational technology and try to get in there and get busy with that right now. But yeah, so Chinese cyber criminals have penetrated sensitive manufacturing companies worldwide through a VPN bug. In an exclusive interview with Dark Reading at CPX 2025, Checkpoint researchers provided new information about a months-long espionage campaign aimed at prized intellectual property. In short, through a months-old path traversal vulnerability in Checkpoint security gateways, attackers attributed with low confidence to APT-41, aka WinT, managed to gain initial access into dozens of operational technology organizations globally. Not good news. But that's why we need more cybersecurity people, and we need more employers willing to hire cybersecurity people. So definitely brush up on your OT, learn a little bit of it. I don't know where there's a good resource, but I'm going to look it up and see if I can find it, and then I'll talk about it in a future video. Talk about some OT here, and yeah, that's it for the news. Let's take a very quick little tea break here. Little tea break. That's good stuff. Sorry if you guys hear me slurping in the mic. You know, I will say this: there are people out there, and they consider that to be like the ASMR stuff. And you know, I guess the slurps, people like the slurps. I'm not one of those people. I don't really like it. So if you like it, you know, kudos, good on you. I'm not one of those people though, but I'm not gonna diss on you if you like that sort of thing. But okay, all right. Get out my sound clip here.
5 hours later.
All right. Hopefully everybody heard that. I think that worked. All right. All right, let's dig into the OSI model. OSI model. We have, what is the OSI model? The OSI model, or the Open Systems Interconnection Model, is an essential model used in networking. This critical model provides a framework dictating how all network devices will send, receive, and interpret data. One of the main benefits of the OSI model is that devices can have different functions and designs on a network while communicating with other devices. Data sent across a network that follows the uniformity of the OSI model can be understood by other devices. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, what the OSI model is it's a way that we can think about things when we troubleshoot. It's a way that things are organized inside of networking, and it's how we can actually get in there and understand things in the theory, right? But actually, it's more than just theory. It's actually you really use this stuff in the real world, because if you have a problem on the transport layer, which we're about to get into, and then you need to figure out if you need to troubleshoot up or troubleshoot down, you know where you can start, and then you can troubleshoot up or down and figure out where the problem is. So let's start here. Application, presentation, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. Okay, so that is 7 layers. 7 layers is how many layers are in the OSI model. Now, there are many, many ways that you can remember this if you need this for an exam, or you just want to remember it just because. But here is how this works. If you do this, you say, please do not throw sausage pizza away. That's how I always remember it. Physical, data, network, transport, session, presentation, application. Please do not throw sausage pizza away. And by the way, a little bit of sunshine, I saw your comment, so I'm happy to hear that came through. Thank you. Really appreciate that. So Thanks for that. All right, let's dive in here. All right, now we've gone over what these actually are. We'll start to dive into the actual layers and what they mean. So, the OSI and OSI model stands for Open Systems Interconnection Model. All right, and I guess while I'm doing this, I have some nice, lovely music here while I fill these out. How many layers? All right, now I can hear that in my headphones, so it's kind of getting to me while I'm doing this. But I felt like I had to get that. I got the Jeopardy music, quote unquote, for this stream now. So now I can actually add that in there. So I got a stream deck, and for my stream deck, I can now like actually play with these sounds. I'm pretty excited because I can actually make these sounds during the different streams that I have now. So, what is the key term for when pieces of information get added to data? Okay, so the key term is. I did not go over that, did I? Let's see. At every individual layer, the data travels through specific process, take place, and pieces of information are added to this data, which is what we'll continue to discuss in the upcoming tasks in this room. However, for now, we only need to understand this process called encapsulation. That's right. Yeah, I haven't used that term in forever, so yeah, encapsulation. You do need to know that for exams, though. If you're taking a cybersecurity exam and you want to get your certification, you need to remember that the term for when pieces of information get added is encapsulation. Okay, layer 1, the physical layer. This is the easiest, in my opinion, it is the easiest layer to grasp because it's the actual thing that you can reach out and grab. So, if you have an Ethernet cable in your house, go ahead and go pick it up, or don't. if you want to go pick it up as a reference, you can. Or if you want to just touch your modem or your router, well, congratulations, you've just touched the physical layer of the OSI model. So that is the lowest layer, and the physical layer uses electrical signals to transfer data between each other in binary numbering systems, ones and zeros. So what is the name of this layer? It is the physical layer. What is the name of the numbering system? That would be binary. And what is the name of the cables that are used to connect devices? Ethernet. In a professional environment, you won't really hear Ethernet cables. You will hear patch cables. Patch cables are much more frequently talked about. This is the same thing. If you hear a patch cable, it's just the same thing as an Ethernet cable. So if your boss comes to you and he says, hey, I need to go get that patch cable, well, now you know what that means. All right, layer 2, the data link layer. The data link layer focuses on the physical addressing of the transmission. It receives a packet from the network layer, including the IP address for the remote computer, and adds that to the physical MAC. Adds in the physical MAC address of the receiving endpoint. Inside every network-enabled computer is a NIC, network interface card, which comes with a unique MAC address to identify it. So MAC addresses are set by the manufacturer and literally burnt into the card. They can't be changed, but they can be spoofed, like I said yesterday. So when information is sent across the network, it's actually the physical address that is used to identify where exactly to send the information. So what's the name of this layer? This is the data link layer. Okay. What is the name of the piece of hardware that all network devices come with? That is the network interface card. Okay. Now for the network layer. This is a very, very extremely important layer, okay? So the third layer of the OSI model is your network layer. It is where the magic of routing and reassembly of data takes place, from small chunks to larger chunks. Firstly, routing simply determines the most optimal path in which these chunks of data should be sent. Some protocols at this layer determine exactly what is the optimal path that data should take to reach a device. We should only know about their existence at this stage of the networking module. Briefly, these protocols include OSPF. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze here. I think so. I'm really sorry if you guys saw that on cam. That was probably not fun. I apologize for that one. But yeah, it is springtime, late winter, early spring over here in Pennsylvania. So the allergies are going around. All right. While some protocols of this layer determine exactly what is the optimal path that the data should take to reach a device, we should only know about their existence at this stage of the networking module. These protocols include OSPF and RIP, Open Shortest Path First, and then Routing Information Protocol. Okay. So basically, the factors that decide what route is taken are what path is the shortest, i.e., what has the least amount of devices that the packet needs to travel across, and what path is the most reliable, i.e., they have packets been lost on that path before, and then which path has the fastest physical connection, i.e., is one path using a copper connection slower, or fiber, which is much faster. A copper connection is just your Ethernet cables. That's actually copper, and then fiber is they have like a little light on the end, and you can dangle it around, and basically it'll shine like a bright red light, and so that's actually fiber. And fiber goes like here. Let's see if we can look it up real quick. Let's do this. All right, so these are fiber cables. Okay, so they don't look like your typical Ethernet, but you have these right here. You have the coating, the cladding, and the core. And so they actually send a wireless signal. Let me see if I can figure it out. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Yeah, this is it. Sweet. Okay. So this is multi-mode fiber signal, and this is single mode. Most of the time, you're going to see boom, 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 boom. This is the way that you see it, okay? At least I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. The last I checked. But you basically have this, and these laser beams get shot out, and then that's how your internet comes. And a lot of times we have fiber in our networks now, if your ISP uses fiber, and that's how you'll get it. Okay. So at this layer, everything is dealt with via IP addresses, such as 192.168.1.100, and devices such as routers capable of delivering packets using IP addresses are known as layer 3 devices. Okay. So what's the name of this layer? This is the network layer. Will packets take the most optimal route across a network? Yes. What does the acronym OSPF stand for? It stands for the Open Shortest Path First. And then RIP stands for Routing Information Protocol. Hey, I see I got another viewer. Thanks for joining the live stream here. Really appreciate that. What types of addresses are dealt with at this layer? IP addresses. IP addresses are dealt with on the network layer. Okay, so layer 4 is the transport layer. At this OSI layer, you get to start to get into TCP and IP. So we've now gone through the things that are like easier to troubleshoot, and now we're starting to get into more of the complex like software side of things. Not that the network layer isn't software, but it's like these first 3 layers are probably your easier ones to troubleshoot. When you start getting into the transport layers and further up, then things start to get a little bit more difficult. When data is sent between devices, it follows one of the two different protocols that are decided based on several factors, whether we use TCP or UDP. So TCP is the transmission control protocol, and it is basically that you have reliability and a guarantee in mind whenever you go ahead and send your data. So there's a handshake that takes place, and basically that handshake says, "Hey, I want to make sure that you're getting what I'm actually sending you," and then the handshake, whatever it is, whoever you're sending it to, they say back like, "Hey, I got whatever you gave me," or they say, I didn't get it," and then to stop sending that data. So something like well, Netflix would be the opposite of this. Netflix is UDP. If you have Netflix, you're actually just sending it. It doesn't matter. That's why your signal actually decreases sometimes. Sometimes you start to see the video buffer, even YouTube, anything like that. That all uses UDP. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about TCP though before we get into UDP. So not only the protocol reserves a constant connection between the two devices for the amount of time it takes for the data to be sent and received. So anything that's really important is going to use TCP. Not only this, but TCP incorporates error checking into its design. Error checking is how TCP can guarantee that data sent from the small chunks in a session layer has been received and reassembled in the same order, right? Think about like if you use a bank. If you use a bank, you're using TCP. All right. So, guarantees the accuracy of data. These are the pros. Capable of synchronizing two devices to prevent each other from being flooded with data, right? And performs a lot more process for reliability. Good. So the disadvantages are that it requires a reliable connection. So not good for like video transmission or audio transmission, because if you get it and then you don't get the entire chunk all at once, or if you don't get the entire chunk, it's going to drop. A slow connection can bottleneck another device, as the connection will be reserved on the receiving computer the whole time. And TCP is a lot slower than UDP because more work has to be done, right? Good diagram, try hack me. I like this. Basically, you have your packets are going to get sent out. Packet 1 gets sent out, packet 2, packet 3, and then the last one, it assembles everything together, right? So here this starts as a web server, and then it gets over to the computer. Perfect. That's exactly what you should expect in TCP. This could be anything. This could be like your banking information. This could be like if you're on Facebook, whatever. Okay, so now let's move on to the UDP, or User Datagram Protocol. This protocol is not nearly as advanced as its brother. It doesn't boost the many features offered by TCP. Basically, just know this. UDP is a lot faster than TCP, and it can get everything that it needs to get. Like, it's not super important if everything gets there all in one fell swoop. So you can see here, like, packet 1 and then packet 3. Yeah, you missed this big chunk in the middle here. That's the reason why if you're watching Netflix or YouTube or something, sometimes your video is not going to look as pretty because of this UDP right here. So it's quite flexible to software developers in this sense. UDP doesn't care if the data is received. This means that unstable connections result in a terrible experience for the user. So great performance as far as getting all the stuff that you want the user to get. That's why I keep on referencing video, because video is just really, really good as an example here. All right, so UDP is useful in situations where there are small pieces of data being sent. Examples are protocols used for discovering devices, ARP, and DHCP that we discussed yesterday. And then larger files such as video streaming. Like I said, video streaming. So this is the data link layer. No, this is not the data link layer. This is the transport layer. My bad. Transport layer, right. So what does TCP stand for? Transmission Control Protocol. You can remember this, transport, transmission, right? But don't forget that acronym of please do not throw sausage pizza away. What does UDP stand for? User Datagram Protocol. What protocol guarantees the accuracy of data? TCP. What protocol doesn't care if data is received or not by the other device? That would be UDP. what protocol would an application such as an email client use? We would want to use TCP for that. What protocol would an application that downloads files uses? We would want TCP for that as well. And then streaming video would be UDP. Basically, if you have to think about it, just think about it like this. If you want to make sure that whoever's getting the thing, if you're sending a package out via UPS and you want that signature, you're making sure that they're getting that, whatever it is you're sending out, well, that's TCP. If you don't care if they get it or not and it doesn't matter, then that's UDP. Layer 5 is your session layer. Once data has been correctly translated or formatted from the presentation layer, which is layer 6, which is the next layer up from this, the session layer will begin to create and maintain the connection to the other computer for which the data is destined. When a connection is established, a session is created. Whilst this connection is active, so is the session. The session layer is also responsible for closing the connection if it hasn't been used in a while or if it is lost. Additionally, a session can contain checkpoints where if the data is lost, only the newest pieces of data are required to be sent, saving bandwidth. All right, so this is the session layer. And you can tell just from how many questions and how short this one is, this isn't going to be one you're going to be doing much with. What is the technical term for when a connection is successfully established? Let's see here. I forgot. The session layer is responsible. What is the technical term for when a connection is successfully established? If you know it, chat, go ahead and put it in the chat and I will keep an eye out. As you can see, things are easy to forget, especially if you don't use it very often, which I do not. So which the data is destined when a connection is established, a session is created. Yeah, okay, so it's actually the session, right? All right, again, yeah, I deserve that right now, so.
5 hours later.
Yeah, 5 hours later. So, all right, here we are though. All right, layer 6, presentation layer. So the layer 6 of the OSI model is the layer in which standardization starts to take place because software developers can develop any software, such as an email client, differently. The data still needs to be handled in the same way no matter how the software works. This layer acts as a translator for data and to and from the application layer, which is our next layer. The receiving computer will also understand data sent to a computer in one format destined for in another format. For example, when you send an email, the other user may have another email client to you, but the contents of the email will still need to display the same. Security features such as data encryption like HTTPS occur at this layer. So presentation layer is HTTPS. Presentation. It's the main purpose that this layer acts as. So this is a translator. Cool. And then our last layer, the application layer. This is actually what you see on your computer. If you're going out to a website or you're on Netflix or something, this is actually what you're going to see. So the application layer of the OSI model is the layer that you will be most familiar with. I see I got another person on the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate that. Thanks. Welcome to the live stream. The application layer of the OSI model is the layer that you will be most familiar with. This familiarity is because the application layer is the layer in which protocols and rules are in place. So you can think about it as your GUI, graphical user interface. We call it a GUI for users to interact with. And other protocols like DNS also exist at this layer. Okay, so what is the name of this layer? This is the application layer. Would help if I could spell, right? What is the technical term that is given to the name of the software that users interact with? That is the graphical user interface, right? You're never going to say that out loud. You're just going to say GUI because that's what everybody says. It's just the GUI. All right, and then I guess we get a game. Cool. All right, let's load up our game here. All right, right, cool. So we got our game. All right. So OSI dungeon. Insert coin. Our hacker has been locked in the dungeon. Their only chance of freedom is by choosing the correct path based on the OSI model. Use your cursor keys to move left and right and the space bar to enter doors. All right. So, if you guys remember our acronym, this is going to be easy. So, it's please do not throw sausage pizza away. Physical. I don't know why it's doing that. I guess I have to like make him go. Okay. There we go. Okay, please do, right? Data, not network. And you can see how easy this gets for an exam, right? So if you just write this out, like if you're doing a certification, this is perfect. So please do not throw sausage, pizza away. And then we're good. So I'm sure that people have probably beat me on that time, but that's okay. Wasn't doing it for time. All right, we got our flag. We can go ahead and put that in here and submit. Come down here, complete that, and we're done with our room. So let me switch over to my main cam here. All right, that's all I had for you guys today. I don't have any tips or tricks for that, anything beyond the OSI model for today's video. I really wanted to cover that. If you don't take anything else away from today, remember for your exams, please do not throw sausage pizza away. All right, that will be super helpful for your OSI model. If you go out on Google the OSI model, draw it, and if you have your wife or husband or your boyfriend or girlfriend, have them go ahead and basically quiz you on it. Like when I was doing my exams, I would have my wife quiz me on things, and that was super helpful. So highly recommend that you do that. If you don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you don't have a wife or husband, just have a friend or family member help you out. Just go in there and you can learn the OSI model pretty easily. But it's super important because it's what we use to troubleshoot in cybersecurity all the time, in IT all the time. So definitely worth your time. But that's it. That's all I have for you today. I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll be covering more networking topics. So thank you guys so much for joining in on the live stream. And for all of you who are watching this later, I'll see you later. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if you found this video helpful. It really helps me out with YouTube, helps me out with Rumble, X, everything else. Please like and subscribe. Talk to you later. See ya.